Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. We had a wonderful weekend, y'all. It was full of events and things to do, and we just had a lot of fun. So, what all did we do? Well, Sunday we fed our pastors and our praise and worship team and those on the staff. Had a great time with it, and I made a couple of keto dishes. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We went down to the Amish community. We picked up our raw milk and some green beans, y'all. I'm going to pull my tomatoes off here because those are from those that I have put in my pantry. I'll show you those in a moment, but this is just one bowl of the green beans. We picked up 9 pounds. It was the last of the green beans. We didn't get a full bushel that we were hoping for, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these blanched today and get them into the freezer. I'm not canning these. They are going into the freezer because these are going to be going to somebody very, very special in our life. Well, hello, Kim. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. Now, the tomatoes are the green tomatoes that I put in my pantry that I wrapped on a video, and I'm getting them in slowly. I pulled out about 9 of them yesterday or day before yesterday, and they are ripe, and I'm going to be dehydrating these. I've been dehydrating them as they come out because I really don't need any more on the shelf right now. So we went to the Amish. I got one more thing to show you vegetable wise. We also went out and we picked our bell peppers. Now this is full of bell peppers, and that's a pimento there. This is the last of the crop of the bell peppers. All the bell pepper plants have been pulled, and I've got to get them sliced and cut up and put into the freezer today because I don't want them to go bad. So that is the vegetables. Let me get this out of my way. So we did a pastor appreciation kind of thing at church. We're in revival. So we had a guest pastor visit us, and I had to eat keto because I am on a keto diet, y'all. Well, as much as possible keto to try to get my diabetes under control. And one of the things that I came up with, or I found the recipe in one of the books that I bought, was for a herbed garlic bread. And this is the bread, y'all. It looks and tastes fantastic. It smells so, so good. You would not know that it is not a regular bread. It's made with almond flour. Hello, Saba Shabazz. Welcome in. Let me see what this review thing is. I can show those if I can get back to it. Okay, that's Nightbot coming up. Welcome in, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. That's Miss Heather. So this bread turned out really, really well. The loaf made about 12 slices. I was real excited about that. Hey, Jody, welcome in. Food Forest Permaculture, welcome in. And it's very, very low carb. So I can eat this and it's not going to raise my blood sugar. Hey, Elliot, welcome in. And that's all I had left out of that loaf that I took. And everybody was bragging on this bread. I wasn't sure how the keto was going to go over, y'all. But it went over very well. And of course, I made my own zucchini noodles with my little hand noodler, and took that in there with some butter. And I had some garlic butter that I had made up. And I made some regular dinner rolls and topped it off with all the good toppings for everybody else. And they just absolutely loved it. Hey, Saba, I'm Christian. It's nice to meet you. So this is a little mini pumpkin cheesecake, y'all. Can y'all see that? And I did put some whipped cream on it. I made these up too, and there was a dozen of them, and we came back with about 6 of them, so about half of them got eaten, and everybody was bragging on these as well. So these are going to be recipes that I will be doing in the future for y'all that are trying to lose weight, wanting keto recipes, diabetic recipes, things that you can do that's low carb, low glycemic index. And I think they're great. So I'm going to have to find another spot to sit all this stuff that I'm pulling out. Let's move this out of the way. I can set that right there for right now. So that's some of the keto stuff. I titled this, Can You Find Keto Items at the Discount Grocery? And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Hey, Troy Sutton, welcome in. I'm glad that y'all are here. We got a lot of collaborations dropping right now. I think Gail's going to be doing her Fall Fest 24 grand prize drawing sometime tomorrow. So y'all be on the lookout for that. If y'all entered your comments and you got picked for a semifinalist, you want to be watching. Hey, Rennie. It's nice to see you. Yes, it's already modded, but it's not, YouTube is not picking it up until I go in there and I hit the little button. Hey, Gail, welcome in. So we went to the Amish community. We picked up some green beans, my milk. We picked up some tomatoes for a friend of ours. And the deodorant that my husband and I are using now is all natural, so we picked that up as well. Y'all can go back and look through some of the videos. You'll see what I'm talking about. Their prices are reasonable. I think the green beans were like $2 a pound, so that's not bad at all. And we had been bartering with them with eggs, so it really didn't cost us a whole lot to get a bushel and a half of fresh green beans. As a matter of fact, they were practically free for us because we had chickens laying eggs, so the chickens paid for it. Anyway, we did that, and I'm so thankful that we were able to do that. We also went to Ada's Unusual Market. It's a little store that's run by Mennonites. And I did go by Walmart and picked up a few items as well. I don't shop Walmart very often, but occasionally we have to go in there. So I'm going to show you what I bought, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about how my diet's going and maybe some upcoming video ideas. So I'm going to reach over here in the back. This is not a food item, but this is painter's tape. It is the duck painter's tape. And y'all know this stuff is pretty expensive in the store, but it was $1.99 a package for this. I use this when I have need for a freezer label because it sticks and I can remove it from whatever container that's in there. And so we bought 2 rolls of that. It's got 60 yards, so that's quite a bit of tape on a roll. And I use this to label in my pantry shelves, because I can remove it. And it's really nice to have. And then I picked up a bottle of a organic Pure Good, let's see, Good Pure Joy laundry soap refill. This is Coastal Lavender and Cedar, and it is a 32-ounce bottle for $2.99. And we're trying to get away from all the chemicals in the products. And so that's what we're doing right now. We're working on that. Rennie, that's a question that you probably can look up online about the cubic foot. Okay, I want to view the message. It's not letting me view the message. Okay, somebody's put a message in here. Moderators, can you go check that out and find out what that message is all about? So I'm using this when I'm hand washing dishes. And I'm getting whatever organic, but this was a new one that they had out on the shelf, and I decided, well, I'm going to try it and see. And I always tilt my bottle because I don't like runny soap. when I'm doing dishes. I don't want it just to pour out of the thing and just be a real weak lather. I want a soap. So that was one of the items that I picked up there. I also picked up, my husband insists on regular peanut butter, y'all. He doesn't like the organic peanut butter because of the oil on top. And so this is from Publix. And it does have soybean oil in it. So he's getting the soybean oil, even though I've told him he doesn't want that. So these were $1.49 each. You don't see anything. It's showing up on my end. I don't know why, but it won't let me see it. Let me go into settings and see. Self-interrupted. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, we picked up those two for him. And then I picked up one for me, and it's in a glass jar, y'all. I'm so excited. It's the Smucker's Natural Peanut Butter. It's got a lot of oil on top. Y'all can see the oil. For $1.49, you can't go wrong on the price. You really can't. This is great peanut butter. Okay, we're going to get to, can you buy keto items at a discount grocery? We picked up 4 of these. Sugar-free barbecue sauce. This is by G. Hughes Smokehouse. It's award-winning, pitmaster, honey-flavored, 2 carbs per serving. So absolutely yes. And how much was it? It was 99 cents a bottle. And so y'all, 1, 2, 3, 4 bottles of that. I did leave a couple of bottles on the shelf for somebody else, but I know I was kind of being greedy. I was like, I got to get this on my shelf because I like barbecue anything. I absolutely love barbecue. I'm from the South after all, and we eat a lot of barbecue. Hello, P&J and Jamie's Country Living. Welcome in. 99 cents at Walmart? Really? For that barbecue sauce? I don't think so. That was at the discount grocery here. So, yeah, it was, I don't know how much it is in the grocery store. I didn't even look. I need to go online and look at the prices sometimes. So, my husband eats rice. I can't eat regular rice anymore, but brown rice is supposedly less carbs than white rice. He doesn't really care for the wild rice as much as I do. But we picked up a 5-pound bag of brown rice for $1.99. And always, always, always read your ingredients. It is brown rice on the back of the label. Right there, brown rice. Okay, it's over $4 at Walmart. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Our Treasured Home, for doing that. I knew somebody would catch what was going on. And then we picked up some balsamic rice. Basami rice is what this one's called, by Royal, and it's from India, y'all. And again, the ingredient in here is balsamic rice. We paid $2.49 for this bag. It is 5 pounds. And ingredients is basmati rice. So this one, you know, my daughter's like this rice, and I thought, well, we'll just try it and see how he likes it. Hello, Deanna. Welcome in. That's Deanna, or Dee's Garden Adventures. Glad you're here. So some good buys on some food items, and then we got some more over here. Continuing with the discount grocery. Now, I know this box is banged up. It's banged up big time. But it is a chickpea noodle made from chickpeas. It was 49 cents, y'all. I'm going to try it. It has 35 grams of carbs, and that is for a 2-ounce serving. So it's still a little high on the carb end, but it may be a better choice when I have to have a noodle and I can't make my zucchini noodles. It may be a choice that I can use for that. So I did picked up the Bang box, and y'all know I put everything in glass jars. I take them out of these boxes, glass jars, oxygen absorbers, or bay leaves to kill any insect, bugs, or anything that might be in there. So that is one of the items that I picked up. And then this I picked up for my sister-in-law. These are Star Pasta, a product of Italy. It was 89 cents for the package. It is a 16-ounce package or a 1-pound package. And this one has semolia wheat, niacin iron, lactate, thiamine, monotrate, riboflavin, folic acid, contains wheat, may contain soy. Her husband has trouble swallowing, and so we're picking up items that we think that he can be able to eat. So that was that item. And I think that is all of the discount. No, I got my tea. We picked those up for her. So I found these at the discount grocery as well. This is a digestive herbal tea. We all need help with that. It contains ginger, licorice root, peppermint leaf, lemongrass, and black pepper fruit. So all of these items are really good for diabetics. So I do read the labels and I make sure, and they were 99 cents a piece. So I got 2 of those. And then I got this one, and I've never had this one before, so I don't know much about it. It is a pure Rubio's red tea, and it's that flower that you're seeing on the front of it. So I've got to do a little bit of investigation on this one, but they were 99 cents as well. So I picked up 2 of those. And then I picked up the probiotics. The probiotics is really good for diabetics. And so you need to do these as much as possible to get those probiotics into your gut. And again, it was 99 cents. It has 250 CFUs per cup, and this is lemon and ginger. So I'm going to try those out. Some of the things that I'm finding out about diabetes is that if you're low on magnesium, your blood sugar will go up. If you're not getting enough carbs and water, your sugar goes up. So those are some little tips that I have come across this week. And so I'm going to be making sure that I already take a magnesium supplement. I try to incorporate beans in my diet for fiber, but I'm going to look at some other ways to get those into my system. Now I do take a Celtic sea salt supplement, which is real high in magnesium, and I do that usually at night before bed to kind of calm down any leg cramps that I'm getting. Potassium is another one that happens with diabetes. Your potassium levels will drop, especially if you're taking a diabetic prescription. So be aware of that. If you start getting leg cramps, it might be potassium and magnesium that you're needing. Hello, Adenir. Welcome in. We picked up a bunch of these. I think we picked up 4 of the organic oregano from Ada's. This one was 87 cents. And I'm not going to go through all of those, but there was a lot of them. And we picked up some crushed red pepper flakes. These are for our chickens. The oregano is real good for their deworming them. And the pepper flakes help them keep their body temperatures up and help them to lay during the winter months. Our chickens have slowed down, so my husband picked these up to put out in our with our chicken feed so that they can get that in the evenings in their chicken bowl, their feed bowl before they go to bed. We got another message held for review. Lovely. And I picked up some cream of tartar. I was almost out. Now, I use this as a cleaning agent, and I use it for cooking. So I run out of it quite quickly. This is 0.410 pound. It has Nightbot. Well, it shouldn't be holding Nightbot. Let me go up here and look at this. It shouldn't be holding Nightbot. Show. Okay. It's $14.40 a pound, and it was $5.90 for this container. So, you know, I buy that every few months. I'll go through a container of that every few months. And we use, like I said, we use it in cleaning agents and other things. It is a whitener when you use it to clean. I also picked up some of this. This is Dr. Bonner's Pure Castile soap in the lavender scent. I pick up the big bottle because I'm using this in my dishwasher. Just a couple of drops in the dishwasher with my homemade dishwasher powder. And the ingredient I'm using for the rinse agent has changed. Now I've got to do a video on that. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. I've got to get that video out, and I may do it this week. Just a little short video on it. But I found something that worked better than the vinegar for me. And my water is kind of on the hard side. So yes, that would help. Hey, Joy. Smoky Mountain Blessed, welcome in. Rushing Wind Mountain, welcome in. If I missed anybody in chat, I do apologize. I'm not trying to miss anybody. But this works really good as a cleaner, and I like Castile soap anyway, and there's a lot of ways you can use this. They tell you on the bottle you can use it to mop the floor, for laundry, for hand wash dishes, washing your hands, let's see, washing the dog, dish bowls, a dash in a bowl of water to remove residue from fruits and vegetables. All-purpose cleaner. You can use it on your plants, for shaving your face. So it can be used for a lot of things besides what I'm using it for. $13 for this, y'all. The price has gone up. I think I used to get it for $10, now it's $13. So I use it very sparingly. I don't use it a lot. Now this, I got at Haight as well, and y'all can tell I've used up most of the bag because that was what I was using for the crust on my little cupcakes, my little cheesecakes. That is almond flour has a crust down here. And it works out really good, and it's actually tastier than using graham crackers, y'all. And then I used it for the bread. So this is a natural, extra fine almond flour, and this was a 1.10 pound bag. It's $5.16 a pound, and I paid $5.58 for the bag. And I've got about a cup of it left in this bag. I went through quite a bit of it this weekend. But I have more of this on the shelf. I just wanted something fresh for what I was taking to the church, so I went ahead and picked up a bag of it. I also picked up some sea salt. we don't use iodized salt in our home. We use sea salt. And this is a 1.025 pound package. It's $1.05 a pound, and we paid $1.08 for this one, and I paid $1.06 for this one. So we picked up some sea salt. I can use this in place of canning salt as well, because it doesn't have the iodized salt in it, or the anti-caking agent that they put into iodized salt. Don't know the price on these, y'all. I don't remember, and I don't have my receipt. But I did pick up some red lentils. Red lentils is something that you can have with keto, and you can make bread with this. So I'm going to be trying that out to try and see how the bread is. It has 22 grams of carbs. So I'm excited to try that out. And I did pick up 2 bags of it. I think it was like $1.52 a bag. So it wasn't really bad. And they're 1 pound bags. So that's all the food and items that we picked up. But we had a busy, busy weekend, as we always do. And we really enjoyed just spending time with people at church. Hey, Nature Loves ASMR. Welcome in. That's Joy again with her other channel. I thought it was a pretty good haul. I mean, you know, and our meat people are back. We picked up some fresh hamburger meat, 2 Boston butt pork roasts from them this weekend. They had actually run out of meat sources. You know, they had used up all their cattle and their hogs that they were going to be harvesting from. And so they had to get a new set brought in, and they just now started processing the meat again. So we had some really fresh hamburgers yesterday afternoon before we went to church, and it was so nice to have a nice hamburger for a change. And of course, I don't use the bun. I use some seasoning on it, and I use some low-carb barbecue sauce, not this brand, but I have another brand in the refrigerator open. And it tastes really, really good. Really good. Hey, Christy Betts, welcome in. So, I mean, we had a really good time. At the farmer's market, I picked up some fresh zucchini because the Amish their crop is coming to an end. I think all they have left now is pumpkins and a few tomatoes. So I picked up some zucchini so I can make my zoodles. I picked up a package of mushrooms at the grocery store and some celery because I can't get it anywhere else. And I like fresh mushrooms, and I like celery. And celery is another really good food for diabetics. Not only is it good for for a diabetic, it's like a 0 on the carb thing. It is high in water, so you get hydrated from it. But it also helps regulate your pH, your body's pH. Spaghetti squash, I think you can eat spaghetti squash too, but I'll have to go double check that one. Yeah, I can't wait to meet you and Donnie, Joy. It would be so much fun, and I'd love you to meet Christy as well. We'll have to grab Christy if we come to Nashville and meet you halfway or part of the way, and just spend a day together. That would be fun. Let's see. I think I've gone over everything I've got over here. So that's the keto bread. This is a garlic herb bread. I talked about it at the beginning of this. Man, this smells so good. Everybody was just bragging last night about the keto bread and the buns that I made. I did some garlic buns for everybody else. Did 4 trays of them, y'all. And all I did was take frozen rolls and lay them out, and then I sprinkled the tops with garlic and basil. When I went to put them in the oven, I brushed them with a garlic and basil butter that I had in my freezer. I melted it down and got them all covered. And I took some of it and put it on this bread as well, because this is kind of a drier bread. So you're going to need some fat on it to kind of help you to get through it. Yeah, we want to meet them too, Joy. Yes, definitely. So I'm doing really well on this. I have lost 6 pounds of the 7 that I gained while I was taking the insulin, and it didn't take long for me to put on 7 pounds with the insulin. So I'm headed in the right direction, y'all. I'm almost back down to the 70 pounds that I've lost. I've just got a couple more pounds to lose to be there. And so that's exciting for me. My husband has gotten on board with me doing this diet, and he's eaten some of the keto meals that I fixed, because I fix those for supper. So he gets some benefits from that as well. And I'm trying to get him on board 100%. We'll see what happens. He is realizing, that some of the foods that he's eating is spiking his sugar. So that's a good sign that he is realizing that, and he's like, I can't eat this anymore. I just can't. So he may get on board with me, and we can do this journey together, which would be wonderful for me and him both. I did a little thing online, a little survey thing, and it said that if I stuck to the keto diet, I would be down 141 pounds by April 4th. Now, I don't know how true that is, but 141 pounds is my goal to lose. Well, I don't know if it's 141. I think they were off on their calculation a little bit. I do want to get down to 140 pounds, y'all, so I've got a ways to go. And that would be a good size for me to be at. That would be my size, around the size I was when I graduated high school, maybe a few pounds over that when I graduated. But, it is what it is, and we're going to try our best to get there. And y'all are going to follow along, and I really, really, truly appreciate all the cheering I'm getting from y'all in the chat for over the 6 pounds, because weight loss is hard, y'all. It's easy to put it on, but it's hard to lose it. Hello, Jonah. I don't know who Mike Latoris is. Thank you so much for that, P&J. I appreciate that. We have come up with a good flock of ducks now. They're doing really well. They're thriving. They've all come together because this last batch we bought had both the pecans and the runner ducks in it. So they all came together as a group now, which I'm excited about that. And our last of our babies, our baby chicks, are out of the brooder, and they're running around the pen with all the other chickens. So I'm excited about that. Thank you, P&J. We love the ducks. They are full of antics, and they're just a joy to have around. Our male turkey is just dying to get out of that pen, but we can't let him out until that red head disappears and it turns that bluish color that they get. And he should be getting there very soon. Of course, the 2 female turkeys go over and talk to him and console him all day long, which is nice that they're coming together there. We have, I think my husband said 67 big chickens, maybe 68 now, because we got one that's still in with the BB Reds running around. And then BB Reds, I think he said we had over 30 BB Reds. So we've increased that flock this summer. Thank you for coming in, Elliot. You have a wonderful day. We are still working on tearing out the garden. I think the last thing that I'm going to be harvesting is the sweet potatoes. I don't think we got any sweet potatoes out there. It had beautiful vines, but I never saw flower on it, so I'm assuming that that's the problem. We still have to tear out all the tomato plants in the front, get all that area cleaned up. We got to get some straw on the turmeric and the ginger, and then we're going to need straw for the potatoes, the strawberries, and maybe the carrots if I put carrots in. So we'll mound them up with straw, and then in the spring we'll move all that straw away, and hopefully we'll have some beautiful plants coming up. Yeah, poor little turkey fella. I'm calling him Tom because he's a Tom turkey, and he's kind of looks at me funny like, what's Tom? What's a Tom? But he'll get used to his name. He'll be the only one out of all of our flock that has a name. And he is going to be the daddy of all the meat that we eat out of the turkeys. So we're hoping we get some baby turkeys in the spring, and we can raise them and harvest them and put them to freezer camp. We are getting ready. I'm hoping very soon to get the subfloor in our trailer fixed finally. My husband is working on the backsplash behind my stove and the one wall, and hopefully we'll get to the other wall later on that needs a backsplash as well. And then I can paint my cabinets. I have not painted my cabinets, and I'm kind of up in the air if I want to paint them or just put a clear coat on them. Because my lower cabinets are kind of like an antique white, and I kind of wanted them to all match, but then again, I kind of like the natural look with the off-white. So we're kind of up in the air about that. Yeah, the turmeric was a great haul, let me tell you. And I had replanted my mineral bucket, and I still had some small heads left. So we had enough to take to 3 of the Amish families down there. To get them started, because I didn't start with a lot, y'all. It was one little package. I think it was an 8-ounce package or a 6-ounce package of organic turmeric that I bought from Azure Standard. And I had a bumper crop from that. So I told them how to do it. I'm going to give them more information next weekend so that they can, really get the idea of what they're doing. Because none of them have ever grown turmeric before. But what I was telling them was the price of turmeric, to buy fresh turmeric, is expensive. And people will be looking for that. And hopefully they will get a good profit from that. And it's not going to cost them anything to plant it. That was my purpose of doing that. And when I get a better ginger crop, I'll probably start doing that. Now, one of the ladies down there is already raising ginger root. But she raises it for them. She doesn't raise it to sell. Not yet anyway. But I told her, I said, people are getting more health conscious, and they're wanting to get natural products, that organic products that they can consume without worry of pesticides. And she totally understood that. And so I was excited about that. And one of the ladies I go to buy our jars, we did buy 8 cases of pint jars. She invited me into her home, which that was a great privilege and a lot of respect. She showed me respect, and for them to invite you into their home means that they really like you. And so I just got inside the door, and it was chilly out that morning, and they were getting the jars. And she says, just come inside for a few minutes and warm up while we're talking. And so I got to see the beautiful kitchen that she has and a little bit of their parlor. And it was just absolutely gorgeous inside. Great big, huge kitchen area. Of course, that's the family room of the house. They gather in the kitchen, and they do most of their work in the kitchen, so it is a bigger room. And it had a Hoosier cabinet in there. It had a dry sink where they wash their dishes. And then it had a built-in cabinet at one end where they store all their dishes. I think it had a little china hutch in there. It had a table and chairs, and of course the wood burning cook stove. Absolutely gorgeous, and just a real privilege to see inside their home. And of course, they had the oil lamps, so that they can see at night. Just a real privilege. And what it reminded me of, it reminded me of going to my grandmother's house when I was a child and going into her kitchen. And her kitchen was not as big as this kitchen was, but it was still a very large kitchen. And of course, the table that my grandparents had sat 10 because they had 8 children. And it was just an exciting time for me. I got to enjoy that and spend a little time with her and talk about some things and health issues. And she does have some health issues, and I was able to talk to her about that. And I'm going to bring her some information to try to help her with those as well. I collect those oil lamps, Christy. I started out with the one my dad read by as a child. I still have it. And I think we're up around 25 or 30 oil lamps. We really don't need to buy any more, but when we see them and they're cheap, we buy them. We got to get enough oil. We could really light up the house with all of the oil lamps that we have. But we keep enough oil lamps filled that when the power goes out, we have a secondary source of light. My baby girl is pacing. I'm assuming she needs to go to the restroom. So y'all give me just a moment and I will be right back with you. I'll have to move my camera out of the way. Come on, Coco. Oh, that didn't take long. Just across the room. Yeah, some of my ancestors had 17 to 21 children in a family. Unbelievable. Not all of them from the same mother. Some of the families had, wives that died in childbirth, and then they'd remarry and they'd have more kids and so forth and so on. But quite exciting, to reminisce about my grandparents' house. They lived in a log cabin down in Mississippi with the outhouse, and you had to go across the road to draw water. Hello, Alfonso. Welcome in. I hope that you have a blessed day as well, my friend. Wow, Jamie, a friend of yours at work has 12 children. That is a lot of children. Oh, my goodness. Well, my grandmother had my uncle, who's the oldest, and my dad was the second oldest, and then she had a set of triplets. So that was 5 children with three pregnancies, and then she went on to have, let's see, that's 5, 3 more pregnancies, and 8 children. Unbelievable. Nightbot's on the job. I don't know what's going on with the Nightbot. It didn't come on with my regular Wednesday live, and I checked all the settings and everything was right. I don't know if they were having problems with it or what. You have a cousin in Indiana that has 6 kids. Oh, wow. She had her first one at 15. Wow. Just a baby. When I was in school, we had a couple of girls get pregnant at 13. And, of course, back then, they pulled them out of school. You couldn't go to public school. My sister got married before she was 18. And she had to sign a document that she wouldn't talk about her married life while she was in school in order to attend school. So things like that, I don't even think they do that stuff anymore. They don't even care, about the adult issues that come with raising children and getting married. They don't consider that anymore in public schools. But back then they did. It was moral issues, I think, more than anything. Of course, the dress code was so much different from when my sister went to school than when I got into high school. When I started elementary school, girls still had to wear the dresses with the leotards. We had the pedal pusher pants, or whatever they're called, that had the little stirrup on them, the little strap that went under your foot. We could wear them to school, but we had to take them off and put them away and put them back on before we went home in the winter months. Just really strict about the dress code. And then by the time I got to high school, all of that had gone away, and we were allowed to wear pants and t-shirts, things like that. And the dress code really went down from there. But my mother still dressed me when we went out in public. We always had to be dressed in our Sunday best for any outing, including going to church. And I continue to try to dress nice. I still try to dress nice for church, even though occasionally I wear a blouse with a pair of nice jeans. I don't wear the ratty looking jeans, but I'll wear the really nice dark jeans with a blouse or something in the winter months. Dress code in your homeschool are still strict, yeah. Homeschoolers, they've gone back to wearing uniforms in school. I'm not really a big fan of uniforms because I think it's more socialization, socialism kind of thing, and they're kind of pushing that on everybody. I do like the idea that we can dress individually, but we should always make sure that our children and our grandchildren are dressed appropriately, even today. And it is sad when we go into a church and we see women that are not dressed modestly. My husband talks about this quite a bit because he's a man, and he says, I'm trying very hard not to look. And they're coming in there very provocative. And it's something that our pastor really needs to address with our congregation, I think. Hopefully he will, but it is something that we are hoping will happen. Hello, Twin Brooks Acres. After all, as women, we are to dress modestly, and of course, modestly also means to dress as biblically as possible. Now we've gotten away from the dresses, in the church and so forth, and God will deal with our hearts, I think. I think He will. He will deal with our hearts to help us to make the right decisions and choices on our clothing. Yeah, gang issues are a problem everywhere, I think. Jamie, I like the long maxi dresses as well. I don't really care too much for the dresses that come above the knee. I like them to be knee length at least or longer. And of course, I am short-legged, so my legs are short, my torso's long. I'm like my dad. And it's hard to find a dress that fits, a skirt that fits me properly. Plus, I have a big backside. So when you wear a long dress, it hikes up in the back and it doesn't lay level at the bottom. And so I tend to wear dresses more than skirts. Yeah, they need to be almost at touching the ground. I agree with you. And I do pull my hair up a lot in church. Well, I pull it up anyway. I usually have my hair up in a bun. I don't go out too often with my hair loose like I used to. So I am a little bit more conservative about what I'm wearing. I don't wear clothes that are too tight, things like that, to church. That's one of the things that attracted my husband to me was that I was modest. And I think that was important, that he found me to be modest. coming from a background where, he didn't see a lot of that. Where's my water? There it is. I'm over here amid all this stuff, y'all. I got to get all this food put away. I'm going to be working on my green beans today. Maybe tomorrow or Thursday I will do a video, not on the bread, but on maybe the little cheesecakes. I'm hoping to get that out. I'm hoping to get started back with my Fanny Farmer recipes. Things are kind of slowing down now with all the collaborations. I can get back into my collaborations. Next month, though, we have the Cozy Fall soups coming out. And I have my Thanksgiving 50 Challenge 24. And y'all will be tagging 3 channels if you decide to do this. And it's just kind of a way for us to focus on the month of Thanksgiving. So the whole month of November we'll be doing this. It's an open collaboration. We will be doing this. I'm going to start it off on November the 1st. I'm going to tag 5 channels, and hopefully they will start immediately putting out videos so that we don't miss any days. I'd love to see every day filled. And if you're not tagged and you want to participate, you can still participate. It's an open collaboration. Jamie, my kids recognized me in stores by my backside. Anyway, I'm going to call it short here in just a few minutes. I do want us to be praying specifically for our elections. There are claims down in Memphis that 12 of the 26 precincts had issues with the machines flipping votes. And they went on, there was a video out, I put it on my X account. Y'all can go look at it if you want to, where they're showing where to touch on the touch screen to make sure that your vote is tallied correctly. Because if you hit the left corner, the top left corner, it's going to tally for the one that is above. And down there, they're mostly Democrats. So when they're tallying the vote, it's coming out Republican. Because usually it's a Republican, then a Democrat on the ticket. And I think down in Georgia, they're reporting that. I don't know if there's any other states, but 2 years ago, I was hitting the name with my knuckle, and I did it twice. The first time I showed them I looked at the screen, everything was right on the screen, and when I hit print, it printed out something different. And so I went over to one of the poll workers, and I told him, I said, something's wrong with this machine. And she had me go through it again in front of her. I said, I don't care that you see who I'm voting for. So I did it again, exactly the same way I did it the first time. Hit it directly where it was supposed to be hit. And everything was right on the screen. When I hit print, it printed something else. And so they closed that machine down immediately, and I was able to vote on another machine, and I got the correct vote and was able to cast my vote. So watch those tickets when you're casting your votes. Absolutely watch your tickets. So, yeah, a lot of people are saying we can't go through another 4 years of this. I don't think we'll make it through 4 years of this again. I think we will definitely be communist America after this. I really do, because what I'm seeing more than anything else is the communist mindset in our politics. I was suspicious with Obama, but I said all the isms were coming out. It was socialism, Nazism, communism. All the isms were coming out under him. and before he even got into office, God was showing me this. And I was like, we do not want to go in that direction because all of those are anti-religious, atheistic mindsets. And they come across as you're going to have all this freedom to do the blah, 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 blah. And then they take every one of your freedoms away from you. And yeah, mocking God. Yeah. Somebody yelled out in a candidate's thing, Jesus is Lord. And that candidate immediately said, you're in the wrong rally. That lets you know that they're anti-Christian. And anybody that says they're Christian and they can't vote for the other candidate may need to rethink their Christianity, because you cannot vote for an atheist. You cannot vote for an enemy of God and be godly. I'm sorry. I believe that we should be voting godly, we should be voting biblically, and we should be voting constitutionally, looking at every aspect of that person. And I've got that video on my X account as well if y'all want to go over and check it out. Now, I have those linked in my About page. I think they're all linked in my About page, but just about under every video that I put out, you can find links to all of my social media accounts. And that would be under X, formerly Twitter. I put most of it there. Some of it I put on Telegram, but most of it I put there. I did notice, I took note that Tennessee specifically is making sure that you know exactly what you're voting for before you even get inside the building. They had a big bulletin board up there with how it's set up and everything, so you know which one you're hitting. You had time to look at it. And then you got inside and they had a sign on the counter where you're going to get your ticket to go vote. And it said, U.S. citizen resident of Tennessee only, no illegals allowed to vote. I mean, it was very, very plain spoken and easy to understand. And so I don't know if they've had any problems with that yet or not, but that was two things. The third thing is the machines. They walk you over to the machine. If you've never voted before, they will walk you through how to hit the tabs and everything. And hi, Jesse Hernandez. And my answer is absolutely yes, 100%. My third thing is, they walk you through that. You have time to stand there. We only had 4 slots to vote on this time. Some places have a lot more than that. It was President and Senate and the House of Representatives and Tennessee legislature. So I was able to vote. I was able to review it. And I was able to print it out. I took it in my hand. I looked at it to make sure that everything that I voted for was on that ticket before I got in line to submit it. And then they have a machine that you submit it in. Now this one you couldn't see because if we went to our precinct, they show you on the screen as it's going in the machine. It's showing what you voted for. This one did not. That was the only downfall, and I think it's because so many people come through and it's just quicker for them to do that. But my vote is in there. It's tallied. I'm thankful I was able to get into early voting. They have had lines, massive lines this year for early voting, which is amazing. I do believe that every Christian out there needs to go and vote. If you've never voted before, shame on you. If you're of age and you have never voted before, shame on you because you're not doing your civic duty. Well, y'all, my hour is up. I do want to ask y'all to continue to pray. Just pray for our elections, our politicians, from the president all the way down to your local governments. Pray for your state legislatures. They have a tremendous burden on them to protect the Constitution. We have some politicians in there that are known communists that are trying to destroy our Constitution and replace it. Also, pray about the land grabs that are going on with China. A lot of these land grabs are going on supposedly as farmland, but they're right next to our military bases. And so that is a scary thought. That's great, Alfonso, that you're able to vote accessibly. That's awesome. Well, y'all, I hope you have a pleasant day and a wonderful, wonderful week. And may you be fully blessed, friends. I'll see you on Wednesday live. I gotta go up here. Sorry about my finger, y'all.